Welcome to Python's AND operator. Have you ever made a decision that required two things to be true at the same time? Like going outside only if it's not raining and you've finished your work. That's exactly what the AND operator does in Python. It lets your program make decisions based on multiple conditions at once. In this tutorial, you'll learn what the AND operator is, how it works, how to use it in real code, common beginner mistakes to avoid, and practical examples you can try yourself. Let's dive in. What exactly is the AND operator? The AND operator is a logical operator that connects two conditions and checks if both are true. To think of it like a bouncer at a club with two rules. You must be over 18, and you must be on the guest list. Only if both rules are satisfied do you get in. If even one fails, the answer is no. Python works the same way. When you write true and true, the result is true because both conditions passed. But true and false returns false because one condition failed. Same with false and true and false and false. The truth table on the left shows all four possible combinations. Notice how the only time n returns true is when both inputs are true. The visualization on the right demonstrates this with our club bouncer analogy. Both conditions must be checked, and both must pass for access to be granted. Let's look at your first AND operator example. The syntax is incredibly simple. Just use the word AND between two conditions. In our code, we have age equals 20 and has ticket equals true. Then we print the result of age greater than or equal to 18 and has ticket. Watch as the code executes. First, Python checks if age is greater than or equal to 18. Since 20 is indeed greater than 18, this condition is true. Then, Python checks has ticket, which is already true. Since both conditions are true, the entire expression evaluates to true, and that's what gets printed. Try changing age to 16 in your own code and see what happens. The result would be false because the first condition would fail. The most common place you'll use the AND operator is inside an if statement. Let's say you want to check if a student's score is a passing grade between 50 and 100. We set score to 75. Then in our if statement, we check if score is greater than or equal to 50 and score is less than or equal to 100. Both conditions must be true for the student to pass. Watch the execution. 75 is indeed greater than 50, so the first condition is true, and 75 is less than 100. So the second condition is also true. Since both are true, the AND operator returns true. The if block executes. And we print congratulations. You passed. If the score was 45, the first condition would fail, and the student would not pass. If the score was 110, the second condition would fail. The AND operator ensures the score is in a valid passing range. You can also use an in while loops to keep a loop running only when multiple conditions are met. In this example, we're simulating a device with a battery and a timer. We start with battery at 100% and time left at 60 minutes. The while loop continues as long as battery is greater than 20 and time left is greater than 0. Watch what happens. The loop prints the current battery level, then decreases both battery and time by 10. This repeats 7 times from 100 down to 30%. On the 8th iteration, battery would drop to 20, which fails the first condition. The loop stops because the AND operator returned false. The moment either condition fails, the entire loop terminates. In 8 it's hazada. This is perfect for scenarios where you need multiple safety checks, like ensuring your device has enough power and time remaining before continuing an operation. Let's look at a real-world example. Filtering products by price and rating. We have a list of 4 products: headphones, mouse, keyboard, and webcam, each with a price and a rating. We want to find good deals, products that are both affordable, $50 or less, and highly rated, 4.0 or higher. Watch the list comprehension on line 8. For each product, we check if the price is less than or equal to 50 and the rating is greater than or equal to 4.0. Headphones at $45 with a 4.5 rating passes both checks. Mouse fails because its rating of 3.8 is too low. Keyboard fails because $60 is over our budget. But webcam at $30 with a 4.2 rating passes both conditions. So our good deals list contains only headphones and webcam. This is exactly how e-commerce sites filter products based on multiple criteria simultaneously. Here's a cool trick called short circuit evaluation. Python is smart. It doesn't always check the second condition. The rule is, if the first condition is already false, Python skips the second one entirely, because the result will be false no matter what. In our example, x equals 5. We check if x is greater than 10 and x divided by 0 is greater than 1. Normally, dividing by 0 would cause a crash, but watch what happens. Python first checks if 5 is greater than 10. That's false. Since the first condition is false, Python knows the entire end expression will be false, so it never even evaluates the second condition. The division by 0 is safely skipped, and no error occurs. This is incredibly useful in real code when you want to avoid errors by checking a safe condition first. For example, checking if a string has length greater than 0 before accessing its first character. Short-circuit evaluation makes your code both safer and more efficient. Beginners sometimes confuse the AND operator with the ampersand symbol, and they look similar but do completely different things. The AND operator is for logical operations, true and false decisions. When you write true and false, you get false. When you write 5 greater than 3 and 10 less than 20, you get true. This is what you want for everyday Python logic. The ampersand, on the other hand, is a bitwise operator used for binary math on integers. When you write 6 ampersand 3, you're working with binary numbers. 6 is 110 in binary. 3 is 011. And the bitwise AND gives you 010, which equals 2 in decimal. You'll rarely need bitwise operations unless you're doing low-level programming. For everyday Python logic, always use the word AND, not the ampersand symbol. Remember, AND is for booleans and conditions, ampersand is for binary number operations. You can mix AND with other logical operators like OR and not for more powerful conditions. In this example, we decide whether to go outside based on 3 factors. Is it the weekend? Is it raining? And do we have an umbrella? Our condition reads, go outside if it's the weekend and either it's not raining or we have an umbrella. Watch the logic unfold. Is weekend is true, so the first part passes. Then we evaluate the part in parentheses. Not is raining is not false, which is true. So we have true or have umbrella, which is true or true, which is true. The entire expression becomes true and true, which is true. We get to go outside. The parentheses are crucial here. They make the order of operations clear. First evaluate not is raining or have umbrella, then and that result with is weekend. Without parentheses, the logic could be misinterpreted. Use parentheses liberally to make your complex conditions readable and correct. Let's review the most common beginner mistakes with the Azure AND operator so you can avoid them. Mistake number 1, using a single equals sign instead of double equals. A single equals is for assignment, like x equals 5, but in conditions, you need double equals for comparison, like x equals 5. Using a single equals in an if statement causes a syntax error. Mistake number 2, repeating the variable name wrong. Writing, if x greater than 10 and less than 20 is invalid Python. You must repeat the variable. If x greater than 10 and x less than 20. Mistake number 3, confusing and with, or if you write if x less than 5 and x greater than 10, This will never be true. Fide base last base because a twim cell x equals median awary spate crustic cans. Mistake number by you probably meant or remember and requires both conditions to be true while or only needs one. Choose the right operator for your logic, and your conditions will work as expected. Congratulations! You've mastered the Python AND operator. You now understand that and checks if both conditions are true. How to use it in if statements and while loops. The powerful short-circuit evaluation that prevents errors. The difference between and the bitwise ampersand. And how to combine it with or and not for complex conditions. You've also learned the common mistakes to avoid. The AND operator is a fundamental tool for making decisions in your Python programs. Practice using it in your own code, experiment with different conditions, and soon it'll become second nature. If you found this tutorial helpful, please like and subscribe for more beginner Python tutorials. We've got lots more coming soon to help you become a Python pro. Happy coding!